life. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I'm pretty much content with just rhyming all day.
Or Digital can instantly share pictures.
I can start. Hello. I am sorry, but I must interrupt this show. Later, you know what it is. Hey, Ham Solo. It's time, baby. Low. Let's turn out we do. Hey. They said we said we hit. They said we said we on. They said we said strong. They said we said go. We say that you heard right. 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 They said we said we hit. They said we said on. They said we said strong. They said we said go. We say that you heard right. We say that you heard right. We say that you heard right. We say that you man. I swear that it's imminent. I've been going so hard on my penmanship. About to go in and buy me a whip. And I pull that shit fresh off the dealership. I can leave you on red like an Xbox. Got me laughing at you like you Red Fox. Got you chasing Hot Wheels like a matchbox. EA running the game and it don't stop. Super cold like I'm playing for Blitz. Cause you all in my sights like Red Dead Redemption. Never gonna slip on my pimpin'. Better get out my way, bitch, I'm on a mission. Really ain't no competition. I'm steady grilling opposition. I'm get up and ready to win. They can play it how they play, but fuck what you say. I'm getting this money today. Last of us like a dying breed. Down the ride like a noble steed. Fatality moves, I make it bleed. That's on any game, that's on any screen. Shut up and give me your money. They said we so lit. Even if I take an L, we coming back just to show that we don't quit. They said we hit. They said we on. They said we strong. They said we said go.
I don't know. Ty, can you hear Loke?
Yeah, I can hear him. Look, it says you're
I can hear him for
offline.
whatever reason.
I mean, I can hear
you.
you.
Ty.
I can hear you, but there's an offline sign right beside your name.
But besides mine?
No, beside Luke's name, but I think
That's
he's
great.
moved a few things down.
Well, damn, I can't hear him. But you can hear him, so there's that.
Yeah, I can hear you. Ham can't hear you, but you still have an offline sign beside your name. But I don't know why I can hear you. But it says we're live, so.
All right, can you guys hear me now?
Yes, I
Yes.
can.
Damn it. F-Max, man. This thing reminds me of... You know what? Never mind. Anyways, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Everything Plus Gaming on TSWS. I'm your host, and joining me as always is Mr. Ham Solo and Mr. Taye Talks. So as I get the video up to get everything working again, Ham, how you doing? What you been up to? What you been playing since Friday?
Oh man, I've been playing a lot of Ninja Gaiden.
Which one?
Actually, the first one, or like
Does,
the one that was first on X.
does it still hold up?
Yeah, it does. It looks great.
All right.
Playing a game with someone?
But you good?
I'm playing Ninja Gaiden. Yeah, and the wife just came in. She wants to play some. She wants to play some Space Marine, so I'm actually probably gonna pop over and play some of that.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Some people just not modest at all. Every chance this man gets to flex that his wife is a gamer. Every single chance. God damn it. Ty, how are you? What you been
Alright.
playing?
I'm good. I haven't been playing anything really, at least in the last couple of days. So I think it's just FIFA, the usual, and that's about it.
What do you play on
Oh,
FIFA?
there's one thing I wanted to mention that I've been playing as well. Since I mean, we kind of jumped off me kind of quickly, and I usually go on way too long. So I'll just list the last two things just real quick because I
Okay.
know Ty was kind of going. Far Cry 4. I've been playing the crap out of that with Matt at the end of most evenings. Um, and then Call of Duty Zombies have been going nuts on that. I made it to level 42 with my buddy Phil
Mm.
and Matt, and yeah, that was a big time fight. It was a Squid Game little short season thing, and I completed that. And I got the circle suit. Pretty dope. I'm proud of
Nice.
that.
Okay. Someone's been having lots of
Killer.
fun. Yeah, yeah, lots of killing of zombies. Of zombies.
Yeah.
Ty, what exactly do you play on FIFA? I'm curious.
Do you mean the level or
Like what
class?
mode? What mode?
Oh, I'm always online. Season mode, so I'm always playing against human beings. I don't get people who play AI like the computer. That it just doesn't make sense to me. I, I never understand why in a competitive game or a game that allows you to be competitive, people would choose to play the PC. Now it
Hmm.
makes sense if you're doing some kind of manager mode, right, where you have to organize your team because that's not the objective. The objective is to kind of
I like story modes when they allow you to do stories, kind of
yeah, the story mode as
your
well is
make your
good.
own player.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
really
okay.
disappointed that they've kind of leaned away from that in sports games. It's really disappointing.
Yeah, the
True.
story modes are like decent, those ones make sense. But when it comes to the actual playing the FIFA itself, I'm always online. Right now, I'm in rank 4. You could say Division 4 3.
Okay. Okay. Good on you. I what game was I playing? Okay, besides Football Manager, which I officially like. I don't know how to get on Football Manager for 5 minutes and stop. That's just it's a problem for me. I don't know how to do that. But yeah, besides Football Manager, the other game that I was playing is WRC on the Xbox because it's on Game Pass. Very good game. I completed 2 missions on Cyberpunk, the DLC, Phantom Liberty. And do you guys ever get sad or kind of like, well, not depressed, but when you know you're coming to the end of a game that you really love and you're not sure, like, am I going to be able to keep, am I going to restart this thing or like this could be the end for good? Do you guys ever feel bad about that?
Yeah,
About a game coming to an end.
Yeah.
Hmm. Not about the game coming to an end, but about the end, I suppose. So Bioshock was one of those games that once I finished it, it was, there was a hole being left over, right? Same thing with Mass Effect. So yeah, there's some games where I play and as soon as I'm done, there's a sadness because the story was great and there's nothing else to play that's going to be similar for some time. So it's kind of like, crap. Now I'm going back to FIFA. My life is shit again.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I've been dilly dallying with Cyberpunk because I know that when I finish it, that's probably gonna be it for a long while, and kind of makes me sad. So I'll do like one mission, and then instead of continuing, I'll be like, okay, that's enough for today. I'll drive around, maybe go sleep in my room or something, or one of the houses, and just chill. But actually do the mission, it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad for me. I will not feel sad when I finally 100% Elden Ring. Just a quick FYI over there. Anyways,
you won't be
Ham.
sad because you're the one that took. You just took a beat from that game.
Yeah. When it comes to Elden
Should
Ring, I
I
just
was saying
don't.
you should go for now.
I don't have the capacity. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I
I'm not
think
gonna lie.
that's
Taya, have you ever 100% at one of these Souls games?
Never. I've never 100% of a game. Who has time for that?
Any game? Like at you've never 100% at a game?
No way. I don't have time for that.
Come on, bro. Not
It's crazy.
even
I
one?
have, but I'm on the side of Ty. I've 100% a couple dozen games, but I'll 100% agree with Ty. I play the game to enjoy it. I don't play it to complete their checklist. I'm also
I feel like you have to be a very specific kind of person to enjoy doing everything in a specific game because these games are large, first of all. Like, even think about Last of Us. Imagine you're playing the game, you're deep into the story, you're following what Ellie's doing, what Joel's doing. And for
Yeah.
some reason, rather than opening this door that leads to the next sequence, all the adrenaline is going through you, you got to stop and go all the way back to find some letter or some freaking PlayStation controller pad. Oh, now you've
Yeah.
done the achievement. Like, it's just so lore breaking. I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean specific people. So you need to be a very specific kind of person to enjoy these kind of things. So, like, can you imagine like Elden Ring telling you like, "Hey, there's an achievement. All you have to do is use a bow and arrow." Like, what? It's just. I just find it a bit bizarre. It's not
Let me
funny.
give you the achievement that fucked with me during the holiday season. And I was like, you know what? I'll see you in 2025. There's an achievement. Actually, there's two achievements that require you to restart the game and beat the game. You have to beat the game 3 times in 3 different ways.
Yeah. No.
And Elden Ring is the type of game that, like, when you beat it once, if you're like a normal gamer, you're like, whew, thank goodness, like, I'm done. I finally did it. But
Yeah. No. That's
yeah, I'm
just.
not a masochist. That's wild. Like I don't know. I I understand that in the sense of somebody that really loves an IP. Like, oh
like
man,
Metal
man,
Gear,
I'm having such a yeah, like you really love Metal Gear, and like for a long time I really like enjoyed like art and stuff like that, right? So like I
yeah,
wanted to get like every dinosaur and everything like that. Train as much stuff as I possibly could, build the craziest, highest building and stuff like that. But even without a story in a game, once you kind of did all that, like once I got the biggest, you know, what is it called? What are those things called? Once I got like the Giga, like naturally tamed, like not using any like mods or like doing anything fast, like doing everything proper, right? In that game, which like takes a long time.
yeah,
So like once I did everything, a ton of stuff proper in that game, and I had massive bases taken care of properly and everything, I was just like, once there was nothing else to really do, I was just kind of like, all right. It's kind of like a weird at peace moment, but still like I'll never have that kind of fun again with this.
yeah. Well, for me, I understand what you're saying. For me, Elden Ring scratches that itch, the 100% itch. Like, just like you and Ty, I don't play games just to get the 100%. For me, that's kind of crazy. That's wild. I'm not gonna do that, right? But if I'm having such a good time, that I can't stop playing it, and I've already beaten it, might as well do the other stuff. That's
Well,
at
that
least that.
was me and Ark, but I tell you what, me and many other games like Space Marine, which I'm playing with my wife, I am not interested in getting everything in this game at all. I just like it for what it is, and it's really fun, and I enjoy the repetitiveness of it, but I don't need every piece of lore in it. I'll never be, I don't know. I guess some people like to overcomplete or like completely complete games. some people like to follow the lore of everything. Me, I just like to enjoy it for what I like about it and keep it kind of me. If I enjoy it so much where I feel like I have to get everything, which that does happen. It happened with God of War Ragnarok. I thought it was going to happen with Astro's Playroom, but it didn't. I'm not
Yeah.
disappointed in that game at all. It's just I just got tired of the loop. And
Yeah.
God of War, I didn't get tired of that loop. And that's a game you don't even like, Loke. You know, I 100% Spider-Man 2 as well. Like
Oh my
enjoyed
god.
the hell of that loop.
Oof.
Story or not, like I just enjoyed the loop of that game. So I 100%ed it.
So that was the
You
last
know?
100% that you got, Ham.
Last 100% I got. I'd have to check to see what I all played on Xbox. So there's probably a couple of games I 100% over there, but I don't know. I don't really try to. It's just like, you know, if I'm really close by the time I beat the game, then sometimes I'm like, sure, what's another hour? But if it looks like it's going to be another like 6-7 hours of work, I'm not going to do that.
What if it's like another 80 hours of work?
Nah. Like if you can look at me with that Gears of War type of achievement system,
Oh fuck no.
I will tell you to kiss my ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or
Gears of
even
War.
Halo. Even Halo with the Master Chief Collection, like that thing is insane.
Gears of War has this thing called Seriously 2.0 that they put that in the second one. In the third one, they put Seriously 3.0, Seriously 4.0, whatever. Essentially, what it says is that you have to kill like 1,000 enemies with each weapon in the game. No, sorry. That's variety is the spice of life. I actually got that achievement. Seriously 2.0, seriously 3.0, whatever. It asks you to kill like 1,000 of a specific enemy type. And yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy. Anyone for me who has an achievement for completing Gears of War, either 2, 3, or 4, getting the 100%, hats off, dude. I think that's even harder than Elden Ring, in my opinion, because it's so much grinding. It's a lot of grinding. Ty, if you had to pick a game to 100%, which one would it be? I know you don't like it, but you had to do it.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's so tough. You're probably, oh god, that's that's actually
and
terrible.
and it would take you specifically 200 hours to 100% it. Which game would it be?
My days. It would have to be something multiplayer focused. So maybe Mortal Kombat, something like that. Yeah, it would have to be a multiplayer. Smash Brothers. Yeah, Smash Bros. Switch. The reason why I don't want it to be a single player game is because I play those games to enjoy, and I don't like the idea of telling me like, well, now you got to be a sniper. I really don't like that. Whereas with a multiplayer game, because I'm facing somebody, I could look at it as a challenge. Okay, you know what? They want me to, pick up Scorpion and kick someone's ass. Okay, I'm willing to learn a bit of Scorpion because I'm feeling some kind of accomplishment by being that person anyway. But
Mm.
but I ain't feeling no accomplishment by catching 50 damsels or 50 flowers in some dungeon. Like that's a terrible thing to
Or
do.
beating a crazy hard boss like Melania or something.
Exactly. Even that, like that would just be terrible to me because if Melania was being controlled by you or someone else,
That's
oh,
different.
yeah, that's different. That's a bigger challenge. But AI, nah.
Yeah, and then you probably have to lose to her like 600 times.
Exactly. But at least with like with somebody else, it's skill. I'm like, okay, you know what? He's Melania, whatever, and I need to overcome Loke, not overcome AI. Like that's just the
Yeah,
key difference for me.
it's less frustrating.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Vincent Vega, happy inauguration day. We are so back. We are so back, Vince. All right.
Good
All
old
right.
Trump.
Let's not get let's not get too much
You're
into
insane. You are insane.
Do I get hurt when I go into that menu?
let's
What
not get
menu?
let's not
When
get
I'm
too
in this
much
menu,
into
do I
this.
get hurt?
Otherwise I'm
Yes.
triggered.
Oh,
No, I'm
Not
actually.
trying to-
I want to go. I'm actually happy Trump won, which sounds
You're
wild.
happy that he won.
Oh,
Please
100%.
tell us
Oh my
why
goodness.
you're happy
Y'all,
that Trump won.
happening
y'all are wild.
Tuesday.
For context, for
Are you
anyone
talking to me?
watching, Ty is a Irishman, but he says he's happy that Trump won. Please tell us why you're happy. Ty,
Yeah,
go ahead.
there's pros and cons to Trump winning, but when Trump won the first time around, I remember going into work that day and telling my friends who were like, "Oh my god, I can't believe this," and I told them like, "But listen, guys, politics is going to be so interesting. Something new is going to happen every day because this guy's a lunatic. Like he's going to give us drama, and we get to watch it all the way from overseas without it, materially affecting us that much. Now, it will affect, obviously, if you have some stake in Palestine, if you're, worried about the tariffs, like Trump's policies can affect you. But still, it is very interesting. Like the TikTok stuff that happened yesterday or today, interesting. The people he nominates for all these positions, these are crazy people. Like, how are you going to nominate a guy who literally said women shouldn't be in the army to represent the army? Like, this
No,
is
no,
insane.
no. Hold on. Do
Mhm.
not misrepresent what the man said.
What do you say?
Here's the health thing over here.
He said
Mhm.
women should not be in the
Oh,
front
God.
lines. So
Okay.
we're talking about carrying
Can
rifles,
you remind me which
hiking-
button for blue and which
hiking
one
for-
for red
for-
when the
for, like,
enemy is attacking?
hundreds of miles
Is
and
red
stuff like that.
right bumper
Front
and
lines,
blue
no.
Y?
He did not say
I'm sorry,
not
for
in the
what?
army. He
When they
didn't say
turn red
that.
and they're attacking, you can do
People like
our bumper, like,
exaggerating.
Yeah, no, sorry. Yeah,
that's
it
So
says,
what I-
when
it
they're
says they
turning
shouldn't
red
be.
to execute,
I don't like about
it's supposed to be the right
this about
stick pushing.
about the whole discussion.
And
is that
when
It's not
when
genuine
it turns
discussion.
blue,
It's
You might
just
want to tell
when it
Ham
turns
to put
speaking.
himself
blue,
on
it's
mute.
supposed to be the
Ham, you need to
LB
mute
button.
when you're talking to the wife, Ham.
Oh, I thought I was muted. My bad.
No.
No, you're good, man. Yeah, you're right. He didn't say front lines. He said combat roles, which is insane because there's literally women already in combat roles. So what happens to those people? Do they just get fired? Like it's a ridiculous take to have. There shouldn't be.
You know what?
Well, hold on.
You
There shouldn't be
know
a statement that women
The
should be in
vast
combat roles.
majority, there's not enough of them, in my opinion. There's not enough of them to make a difference.
No. But the point isn't that. The point is
That's
to
the
make a
point.
statement like that, right?
That's
Because put it this way, if you said these are the terms and conditions for you to be in a
Yeah.
combat role, so let's
Yeah.
say a China, for example, right, or
Yeah.
any of these like whatever women who are 6 foot, whatever it is. Like I've seen female bouncers that are like they look huge. So
Wait. Trump is raising the GPU prices. Vince, get him out. Someone needs to impeach this man. Fuck Trump. He's raising the GPU price. Oh, fuck this, man. Fuck this. Everything he said, get him out. All right? Jail this man. Anyway, sorry, Ty.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen Vince's comment here. Oh my God. Get him out.
Yeah, so
Blind Giant, mahalo, Blind Giant. Welcome. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, so it's a case of the statement doesn't need to be said. Now, what you can have instead is these are the conditions that you may apply to be in the combat role. So if you can hold this rifle, if you can bench press this, if you can squat this, if you can run X, Y to Z, then you
But that's
can.
not what happened, Ty.
Then no. Yeah, that's we don't know about that, right? But
No,
if
we
that's
do.
not,
We do. They applied affirmative action in the military. So the same way black people, right, didn't have to pass with the exact same marks to compete with white people to get into universities ahead of them, women didn't have to run the same amount of miles as men. They didn't have to carry the bags that had the same load. They didn't have to do the exact same training and still get in. This is why people have been freaking out. This is why you have ex-Marines or ex-whatever showing up on podcasts complaining about woke this and woke that, bruv.
So I would agree with that, right? But there's a way you say that. For example, if I was in that chair, I would have
Yeah.
said we need to go back where we adhere to standards across the board that
Bro, if
protect
you want to tone
our.
police, we can go down that alley. I'm not talking about his tone. I'm not talking about what he's saying. I'm sorry. I'm not talking about how he says things. I'm just talking about what he is saying. That's all.
No,
Because
but
if
what he
if we if
correct.
if we focus on tone, me and you are from completely different cultures, Ty. If I was to judge you on your tone based off of my culture, maybe we don't interact ever again. Maybe you don't ever come back on here again. Do you understand?
It,
Because we have to accept the fact that the world is very, like, it's vast. So whenever we interact with people and whenever we interact with information from people, especially people that are not from where we are, tone should be very far from our evaluation of whatever
but
is
it's
being
not about. But
communicated.
it's not about the tone. The statement itself. It's just plain English that he said that women should not be in compound roles. Now you cannot say a
And that's not
statement
a
like
bad
that.
idea.
No, that is a terrible idea.
I don't think it's a bad idea. Well, I don't think it's a bad idea.
You
I
cannot
don't.
exclude a gender that makes up 50% of your population
Yeah.
based like because you just want to. If you want to say that in order to be a doctor, for example, you need to pass these exams universally for everybody, got you. If you want to be a nurse, you need to pass these exams for everybody, got you. If you want to be a combat specialist in the front lines, you need to pass these exams that everybody has to do, got you. But at no point can you say, no, this group cannot be in this position no matter what.
Okay. All right. All right. You know what? That's actually a good point. But the context that he was talking in, right? The context that he was talking in was specifically about lowering the standards for people depending on this on their sex. Based off of that, he made the conclusion that no, they shouldn't be allowed on. But you know what? I agree with you, Ty. If if they were to standardize everything for everyone and be like, bro, you want in? All right, everyone's running 50 miles with this rucksack and the rifle. Everyone's running 50 miles. If you can make it in the allotted time, you're in. And if there's women that can do it, then they're in. I understand that.
Hmm.
I
But
understand
like,
that.
but
I,
the
I
thing,
I agree
it's like,
with that. I agree with that. But if you pay attention to the problem, and this is the problem with people not wanting to listen to what's being said on the other side. If you go to listen to what's being said on the other side, even the fucking memes, bro, that are being shared on that side, there's memes, Ty, there's memes of female Marines doing like half the course and still being like broken by the end. But we're supposed to sit here and be like, yeah, yeah, it's all fine, it's all good.
yeah, but then
That
can
that's the
we
context.
not focus on
It's
execution though,
it's
right?
within that context that he was saying, I get them out.
Yeah, but
But I
that's
agree
the
with
point.
you. I agree with you when you say, dude, if you can do it, you're in. I agree with you on that one. Because
Yeah, but
obviously
again with
there's
him.
anomalies.
Yeah,
Sorry?
but with him though, the problem is when you're in a position like that,
Yeah.
you have to be crystal clear in how you say things, and you can't say things that might sow division or cause hurt. And what he's shown there is lack of leadership because there is no leader that will make such a general statement like that. It's like saying, like well, for some reason, maybe black people are not
All right, we're
as
beating a dead horse here, Ty. I agree with you. We shouldn't say no women
okay,
in the
okay, okay,
force.
cool. Yeah,
We
okay,
we
cool.
agree. We agree. What we should say is everyone should pass the same bar.
Yeah, for sure.
We agree on that. So let's not beat the dead horse.
Yeah,
Speaking
cool,
of
cool.
dead horses, apparently they're going to institute the external revenue services. This is why Vincent Vega here is saying that he is raising the goddamn GPU prices. Yikes! And GPU prices were already crazy.
Mhm.
Ty, thoughts on this one?
Um, I'm not surprised. Listen, I'm not surprised because Trump always said he was going to do this. Is he bluffing? Is it not? I actually don't. Actually, have no idea. Even if he does, I mean, I guess it is what it is. Then I don't know how that's going to affect Europe. Maybe the Americans might be affected by this. So is he just mentioning? I'm sorry. Is Vincent just talking about Americans being affected? If that's the case,
Vincent's not in the US though. He's in Europe, if I
is in
remember
Europe.
correctly.
Okay, I
Vince,
mean, Vincent, I don't know. Are we affected in Europe over here, or is this just a American thing? If it's an American thing, then I don't care. Like screw you guys.
but if
You
he's
still watch your
texting, mm, Ty, where's your empathy? Hmm? Where's your love for your fellow man? What are you talking about? Sowing what you reap.
No, I don't. I
Be
mean,
nice.
listen, they voted for him, so like they clearly knew what they were getting into. So it is what it is. Like any gamer, like this type of discussion is just so like silly because I talk to people about it and they just don't seem to care. When people decide to value things like oil prices or X Y Z over things that might actually materially affect their lives, I mean, I don't know what
Hey,
to say.
oil prices doesn't materially affect our lives.
Well, the oil prices actually went back to the normal standard, right? So
Answer the
like
question.
yeah, it does. It
Do
does affect.
oil
Yeah.
prices? Oh, okay, they do. All right.
No, it does, but from what I remember, everything was back to normal more or less. So, but tariffs are not something that's normal. It's a new thing, so it's going to cause issues. I think Trump is very good at saying things that sound sexy, all these really cool slogans, and people jump on it, and that's it.
Let me
But
help you,
they
Ty.
never they don't know the
Ty,
details.
let me help you. He's very good at being a politician because that's what they all do. It's all about saying things that sound sexy. Let's not pretend like this man has invented the like a new rule, a new wheel, a new way of being for a politician. Let's not pretend that. Come on, come on.
No, but I think what he's done is his populism has done a great job at using one words for slogans. So if I was to ask somebody, for example, how is he going to fix the economy, rather than giving me a detailed explanation, they would just say tariffs. It's like, well, like is that it? They don't really have anything else. How are you going to fix migration? Oh, build a wall. It's like that doesn't do
D-
anything. Like, what are you really talking about?
and mass deportation as well.
How's that going to work? Like you see that there's no substance behind these statements. It's just like slogans to say. Like Trump is like the guy, right? Who there's a doctor on stage and there's a guy who's like another doctor. There's a doctor on stage and there's a guy who's like some populist, and the populist guy says candy for everybody, and everybody likes that because it sounds good. But then the
Okay.
doctor was like, well, actually, if we do that, it's going to affect this, it's going to affect this, it's going to increase your blood pressure. People don't want to hear the consequences. They just want to hear the good stuff. So that's why when he said tariffs, everyone was like, okay, this sounds good. But they weren't thinking about the consequences. Our game price
Wait,
is going to
wait,
go up.
wait, 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 wait. So Trump was the only one saying that he was going to bring good stuff. The opposition were doom and gloom and saying, "Oh, it's going to be a struggle for the U.S." Is that what was? I didn't see that. I didn't
No,
see the
the other
negativity.
side, the
What
other
I
side
saw
tends to,
was two parties peddling, right? The new age of winning and victory in the US. That's what I saw. Maybe I saw wrong.
yeah. Listen, the Democrats, if you, I'm not a fan of them per se. Like they're quite
Hold
silly.
on. Forget them. You said something.
What was the
I'm
question?
asking you to be clear. You saying that on the stage, right? Let's follow your analogy that you brought up of your own volition, right? On the stage, you have this giant charlatan, right? With
Hmm.
gold hair and spray tan
Hmm.
telling you all these nice things and giving you sweets. On the other side, you have a doctor telling you that no, this is going to negatively affect and give you the reality. So,
Hmm.
my question is following your analogy, I didn't see no doctors during anyone's campaign. What I saw was two political parties promising people the best days are to come. That's what I saw. And one guy was more compelling at quote unquote lying to the people. But I didn't see this, following your analogy, I didn't see this doctor laying down the law of reality to anyone.
Well, if you're talking about Trump in particular, whenever he tends to talk about things like healthcare, for example, right? They ask him, "How are you going to fix it?" And he just says, "We will fix it. Don't worry. You know, it's going to be tremendous." There's no details as to how he's going to fix it. He just says it will be tremendous healthcare. Everybody will get it. He said this back in the last time he won. They didn't do anything about it. Oh, how are you going to get rid of Obamacare? And how are you going to deal with the people being affected? Oh, we'll sort it out. Don't worry. There's nothing. It's telling you absolutely nothing at all.
So if he said
Um,
nothing, why did the people opt for him?
because he's a sweet talker.
But he said nothing.
No, he's saying what
You
they
can
want
be
to
sweet
hear.
all you want, dude, but lives on the line.
No,
People's livelihoods, people's families are on the line when they
no,
make that decision. And you can't sit there and tell me that it was just sweet talk, bruv.
no. It is sweet talk because it's not giving you substance.
And people preferred no substance. That's what you are saying.
Yeah, because substance isn't sexy. People don't like details. So, for example, it's very easy to say from a gaming perspective, woke, DEI, or to say shareholders are bad, all this kind of stuff, because these slogans sound sexy. However, when you go into the details as to why something is the way it is, nobody wants to get into those nitty gritty parts because it
Oh my
doesn't sound
god.
as sexy.
DI is shit, dude. Like, you're not gonna. No, no, no. DI is shit. All right. It's not the only reason that a lot of these games bombed, but it's still a bad thing. Oshus, what's happening? What's happening?
What's
Hope you're having
happening?
a good one. A happy inauguration day, Oshus. So yeah, Ty, no, DI is bad. You're not gonna sell it. Nope, not to me,
Well,
not to me.
forget about DEI. Like we could talk about like shareholders in games, right? So the complicated truth is, game prices are rising, blah blah blah. Or if a game like GTA costs 1 billion to make, as some people are saying, I don't think so. But if it costs 1 billion to make, for argument's sake, do they have the right, or not? Do they have the right? But should they actually increase it by $10 or $20? Like these are like the questions that these are the nitty gritty questions that people just don't want to answer because in their mind they're like, no, I like the idea of things just being 70. Well, why the prices increase in the first place? Nobody wants to get into those discussions. They just want the solution,
You
which
know
is
what?
no,
I
it
think
shouldn't
it's fine.
happen.
I think it's fine. I think GTA can sell the game for whatever price they want, right? Although obviously I disagree. I don't like the idea of $100 game, but I do believe in free enterprise. They can sell the game for whatever price. It'll probably sell well, right? Everyone else that follows them and decides to sell their games at $100 and
Hmm.
fails and proper face plants and has to shut down their studios and all that, I don't feel bad for them.
Yeah, yeah, no, I completely agree as well.
That's how I feel about it. Because we sit here and we see games like Metaphor Refantatio, we've got the Yakuza games, we've got fucking Elden Ring, we've got a whole bunch of other games that come out, proper good games, and $60, $70,
Hmm.
and they keep it pushing. And they're happy to make their 2 million to 3 million sales. Because you know what? One gamer is not being born every single day. That's not what's happening.
Hmm.
One fully grown gamer with a job, a house, and willing to buy a game, that fully grown gamer is not born every single day. So you're selling to the same amount of people every single month. And these people, not everyone is jumping from one game to the next, to the next, to the next. And even if they are open to it, not every single game that's coming out is to their liking. We were just talking about 100% in games just now.
Hmm.
There's certain games that appeal to people and some that don't. So you'll never make a game that appeals to everyone. Make peace with it, move on, and make bank. But if you sit there and you want to make all the bank, you want to make all the money in the world, all right, good luck. Good luck. And then when you shutter your doors, your your staff can move on somewhere else. It's fine. Vince says GTA might be worth 100 if it's day one on PC. If I have to wait over a year, no. Uh, Dude, if I didn't have a PS5 or a Series X and GTA was console exclusive, even as a PC gamer, I'm going to buy a console. I don't care, and I'm gonna pay the $100. I don't give a fuck. It's GTA.
GTA can get away with probably 120. They can get away with, get away with a lot of like anything.
What are we doing? It's GTA, bro. Obviously,
Yeah,
it's
for sure.
GTA. They're on another level, and that's why I think it's a big mistake for any other like games in the industry to be like, ah, yeah, let's follow GTA. All right, bro. Good luck. Good luck. You're going to be just like the other games that wanted to be online and be like, oh, let's follow Fortnite. All right, let's see how that works out for you. Oh man. Anyways, let's get into the reason, or one of the main reasons why we're doing today's pod. It's not looking good for PlayStation, right? It's not. It's not looking great. Ty, you saw the news last week. Unfortunately, it all popped off after our Everything Plus Gaming podcast. What are your thoughts on PlayStation canceling all of those online games? I think it was like 8 or 9 of them.
Yeah, there's a huge mismanagement problem going on at Sony. It seems like Jim Ryan has kind of dropped the ball, and he bailed at the right time, to be honest. Now, does Herman take some blame for that? I'm sure he can. But I have no issue with PlayStation trying to make multiple live service games. I don't even have an issue with the God of War live service game, to be honest. The problem that I'm finding is it seems that Sony just didn't do their due diligence. And the example of this is Concord, when Sony said we didn't do enough checks. So for some reason, it seems that they purchased these studios, and rather than do the typical Sony, let's do a deep dive to see if this is quality. Let's have people play it out and test it to see if they like it. They've just let some of these studios just do what they want. And they haven't financed them, or what I should say is provide them with the right expertise to manage these projects. Now, Bungie was supposed to do this, and I think that was their plan until they realized that Bungie are a complete flop and they didn't know what the hell they're doing. When that happened, they should have went out and who you're talking to, go grab a guy from Activision Blizzard who worked on COD, who worked on Diablo, who worked on Candy Crush, go headhunt these people and say, this is what we're trying to do, help us. That didn't happen, and it seems that Herman had a relook at some of these games and realized that they either weren't good enough, they weren't unique enough, or they didn't have enough of a live ecosystem that would keep players playing for a large amount of time. Hence the cancellations. So from a management perspective, this is a complete and utter disaster. Someone has to take an L here. And I think the person who would have taken that L is already gone, Jim Ryan. He's a very smart individual. If he knew this was coming, then 100%.
Ron Slasher says PlayStation is not a live service company. Just follow Nintendo's roadmap. Excuse me, quote unquote capacity. Ooh, Usher says is looking for a new bride in Wakanda at the moment. It's rough out there, bruv. It's rough out there. So Ty, is PlayStation dead? Sorry, I was about to say is Xbox dead, but that's a question. That's a question we've been hearing for like 20 years now. But all right, let's turn it blue. Is PlayStation dead or well on its way?
Not at all. PlayStation has around 30 studios from what I remember. So yes, there's a lot of them that have probably, you could say, wasted time and wasted resources. But PlayStation is one of Sony's biggest branches. So they're far from dead. We're still gonna expect Ghost of Tsushima. We're still expecting the Wolverine game. We're still expecting Naughty Dog's Intergalactica. Like they have things cooking in the background, and you know how Sony does. If they're kind of falling short when it comes to specific time slots, they'll just go and headhunt these games. They'll go and get a timed exclusive games to fit in that branch to fill in that pocket, and there you go. They're all good again. So no, they're far from dead. What they've been trying to do is just spread their risk, because every company should do this. PlayStation should have live service games. PlayStation should have multiplayer games. They should have single player games. They should have story driven games. They should have all types of games. And one of the reasons why EA has been so successful is because they've spread their risk very well. FIFA Ultimate Team. I'm sorry, EAFC Ultimate Team, college football,
Madden.
F1, Madden. And even the story-driven game, Star Wars Survivor, has sold better in Europe than The Force Awakens, or whichever one that the title was called before. So EA is very spread out. WB was trying to do that, with single-player games like Hogwarts Legacy. Then you have the live service games like Suicide Squad, but then you also have Brawlhalla, I believe, or the Nickelodeon game. So this is expected. Every company needs to do this. Sony just overplayed their hand in this aspect.
Okay, but they're fine.
Yeah,
PlayStation.
they're fine. I mean, I think the annual reports came out some time ago, right? And they were in profits. PlayStation 5 has it's like 3 million or
Dude,
so.
these annual reports, do we believe them or not?
But yeah,
Because
the publicly
when the
sector.
annual report says PlayStation is doing great, everyone is happy, everyone agrees, no one is disputing the data. When the annual report says Xbox is going bonkers, Xbox is breaking all the records, something's off.
No. When Xbox says they're doing these things, the people who are off are the people who don't like facts. They don't like facts. It's kind of like when Jez says something that is fact, they'll report on it if it's bad. But if it's good, they'll say he's a fraud. Like he doesn't know what he's saying. He's an expert,
The
whatever it
same
is.
people.
The exact same people. So for me, listen, when Sony says, these are profit margins and that we're doing well, I take them for their word. When Xbox says these are numbers, I take them for their word as well. Especially because you're a publicly listed company. You can't be lying about these things.
You
That
can't.
would be insane.
It's against the law, bro.
Yeah, it wouldn't be good at all. So when even Xbox comes out and says, like, even that article from the Information, like I'm reading that and I'm thinking, well, I'm reading bits of it and I'm thinking, yeah, this is like truth, but there's like stretched truth here to create a narrative that is unfavorable to Xbox.
Yeah. All right. Ham, I don't know if you're still playing Space Marine. Ham, you
Yeah, I
there?
mean, I'm still playing, but I'm there. I'm here.
Is sorry, I keep saying is Xbox is PlayStation dead or on the way to dying?
Yeah.
What?
Oh
Okay,
man,
let me
relax.
sit
I'm
down.
just kidding.
Let me sit down.
I'm just kidding. No, they just like Microsoft, in my opinion, they'd need a lot more than just this to fold up. Now, them finding worth in themselves is really the question, right? And I mean that's the question that I feel like that was the main question for Microsoft, right? And Satya himself came out and told everybody, "Hey, we find worth in ourselves," and he's allowing Phil and Jason Ronald to go out there and make another console. Keep going, but like the stipulation is like all their stuff has to go everywhere, which is take it or leave it kind of thing, right?
Mm.
But for this in particular, it's just a horrible look for Sony because they wasted so much time. They wasted so much time, and this stuff is very expensive, right? It's very expensive, and you had and I don't know. To me, I feel like it was a little team crushing because maybe you've seen that article, Luke, maybe you didn't. But I sent you that article earlier where it's talking about how the people at the studio, like, I don't know if this is completely true or not, so take it with a grain of salt still. But like, it is a pretty who's the person that Jeff Grubb's the one that said that. So take it for a grain of salt, but some people say he is the messiah of leaks and stuff like that.
Community
So,
notes are usually very fast with stuff like that. They usually come
is
in
there
and
any community
especially-
notes?
Nope, especially when there's an article connected to it. Community notes are very fast, and there's so many PlayStation defenders. They would have community noted this motherfucker like as soon as it came out the gate.
Yes, that's very true. And there are no community notes. When I sent it to you, there was no community notes. I don't know if there is now.
There's still no community notes. It's up on the screen. Still nothing.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm looking at Space Marine with my wife because
Yeah.
that's what
And
matters
Genki
right
doesn't
now. And
mess.
I'm actually about to get out of here probably after this topic. But yeah,
Genki
there
doesn't mess
is.
with the foolishness also.
Yeah, he's not. Genki's not out here console warring like that. He's out here like maybe it might feel like console warring sometimes, but it's usually just the news. It's like like Okami, but like Okami is even more like just. I don't think any of them are really console warriors, but like people like to paint them as that because depending on the the direction the wind's blowing during that time of year, it's almost like me and you, Loke, right? like,
Mm.
like we'll tell you straight up, hey, this is the platform that we're playing on, or this is the platform that we prefer, or whatnot. But like, hey, if PlayStation's having a good year and Xbox ain't, I'm sorry. Like, I'm playing my PlayStation. I'm sorry. It just is what it is. Like Xbox ain't doing nothing. Like I'm not going to like pretend that they're doing something when they're not doing. And that's what I felt like kind of last year was a lot of people were telling me, oh, PlayStation's doing a lot, and I'm like, no, the third party's doing a lot, but them themselves when everybody started this generation and said first party games, that's where we were going with the conversation. So I stuck in that lane, and I'm still in that lane right now. And when I look at it, one did better than the other this year. If I look at 2022, it was a landslide. PlayStation dominated. Xbox did nothing. Absolutely nothing. So like so there was just winning years for each of these platforms. But as for the last few years and going for Sony, it has not looked particularly great. It's looked okay at best. Since pretty much God of War, it's been okay at best. Since God of War came out, which is the same year they had Gran Turismo come out, it's the same year they had Horizon Forbidden West come out. They had exclusives that Xbox owned come out on their platform first. Like they were firing on all cylinders in 2021. It looked good for PlayStation, right? Like that's another
Man
year
is rubbing
you can't
in.
deny. It looked great. But like if you look at that year 2021 and then try to tell me 2023 was just fine, I'd say you're insane. Because the only game that came out in 2023 was Spider-Man 2. And then you go to 2024. One game completely died 2 weeks after launch. The other game had them. Well, the other game is used as a mask agent for a lot of people. Oh man, that did bad, but look what came right after. Look what covered up the boo boo. And the second party game, which I'll let you have that one. That was amazing. And it was a little messy what you did. It's a little messy what you did worldwide though to your players by making them get into the PSN thing, but that's another conversation, right? But all in all, right now what we're looking at is a list of games that got canceled, and half of them don't even make sense in the concept. At least sounding, just by the title of the game, it didn't make sense. God of War live service. I mean, just that whole sentence is confusing. That's just a bunch of gibberish.
It makes no sense.
I mean, I honestly wish it came out just so I could have seen what their vision was, because I'm wondering how they planned on making it to season 6. And then Locals like, hell, season or I don't remember who said it. Somebody was like, hell, what does season 1 even do? I
I'm
was
the
like, I
one
don't
who asked. I'm the one
know.
who asked.
You're the one that said that?
Yeah.
So you're like, how what do they even do with the season 1? I was like, I don't know. I'm thinking ahead, like, like they're supposed to be thinking ahead, right? Like how you monetize this thing. I would think that you would have at least 5 seasons right off the top of your head that you can just throw out there, right? But I can't even think of one after you told me to just think of one season. I was like, shit, like what do you do? Like, and how do you move on from it? Like, and like, is this a 4-player thing or what's like they had some interesting ideas, and I don't even think they all were bad. Like the Spider-Man one to me was not bad. Helldiver type of style game where you're fighting, like where you're crime fighting around the city. I mean, to me that sounds amazing. Very much similar to a Gotham Knights, but more but more lively and fun and whatnot, I guess. Twisted Metal baffled me because their show did great, and that video game from inception seems like a live service kind of formula. Like it seemed like it was a live service before live service was ever made. Really, it just
The
never
whole
had
concept.
any. It just never had the DLC pay to play type of stuff ever really incorporated into it like that. But like there's several others on there. There's others that weren't announced that we don't know about, and there's still some to come. Being that game, pay is it paid back or pay? What is it? No. Payback was canceled, right? That was the Bungie thing. I'm thinking of Fair Games.
That's going to be a shit show.
Well, some people are saying so, and I'm kind of being more on the positive end for that game. I think it won't be great, but I don't
People
think
on
it
the
will be
positive
the
end for
worst.
Concord, but okay.
Yeah, I was. Let me see that.
And
But
people will still
but
call
I'm
you an expert, which is funny. It's very funny.
sure. I obviously enjoy Xbox the most. I'll always stand up and say that with my chest out, and I'll also make people disappointed when I tell them the facts about what I don't like about my own console. But I mean, I'm insane if I do that. But we can all talk about presidents and these different other entities and our sports teams. We have no problem talking crap about those. But when we talk about a inanimate object, we better watch our mouths. But but
Yeah.
but what was I saying? Yeah,
I have a
I mean,
point though. Just
I
to some of
just
the things
don't
you guys were
know.
saying.
Well,
Um,
yeah. Go ahead, bud.
you mentioned God of War. How was that going to work? And
Yeah,
I had a similar conversation with one of my guys some time ago about
I'd love to
creativity.
know how it's gonna work. Like, I'm
And
interested, and that's why I said I was legit interested in that game coming out. Like, not obviously we didn't know about it until it was canceled, but like after they said that they even had it as a concept, I'm just like I want to see what was cooking. Like like you know what I mean? You
mhm.
ever see something that was like kind of nasty, or you seen like the world's biggest pizza, and it's like, dude, I don't want to take a bite of that, but how the fuck did you cook that shit? Like that's what kind of where I was with
Mhm. Um, I think that they probably could have made a decent multiplayer game, a good multiplayer game, but a good live service game, I don't know. So the way I would have looked at it is you would have had, different characters, including Kratos and the other gods like Thor, his kid. and you would just give them special abilities. So rather than it being a one-on-one combat, it could even be a 2v2 or 4v4, and you could have a situation where there's actually God of War bosses in the actual game. So think about something like For Honor, except maybe in certain locations you have maybe a boss that's causing trouble, and I think that could have worked from a multiplayer perspective. However, the question is how you turn that into a live service game, and I don't think they had that answer. I think they probably came to the conclusion that we have enough here for it to do well enough for the first season, but do we have enough for this to become a moneymaker, for this to be the cash cow that we actually want this to be? And the conclusion was probably no. It's probably just going to break even or do good
I mean,
enough.
it's deeper than that, though, possibly, because it's just like, bro, if I'm correct, they put years into this so far, right?
Hmm.
And we're conceptualizing this in 15 minutes. So, like, I'm really wondering, like, what they like. I can only imagine somebody getting a third of the way into making a car and just being like, fuck it, I'm gonna start a different vehicle project. And to me, that just sounds like, man, like, fuck were they thinking with this first one? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you have thought about this not for a day, not for a few weeks, not even for a few months, not even just a year. You guys were doing this not for just this company, but for multiple studios
Yep.
for years. How do you miss this hard? Like, that is pretty wild. Like, I've yet to hear Nickelodeon say, "Hey, we're coming. We got 7 new or 12." Dude, they said 12. We got 12 new TV shows. Don't know if any of them are going to make the TV screen. And then just a couple of years later, like 7 of them motherfuckers don't even make the screen, and one of them made the screen for a week. You're like, ah, fuck. Nickelodeon's in trouble. like, I mean, that's kind of that. I mean, I'm just kind of. I guess I'm just putting it to perspective from another company's outlook. Like, if any other company did what Sony's kind of doing right now, they'd be looked at as really confused and really, like, especially from where they came in the PS4 generation, they just literally don't know what they're doing.
It does look like they're fumbling in the dark. Bunty, Wagwan man, welcome, Bunty. Big Mad Mo, welcome. Says Days Gone could have been PlayStation State of Decay. There's something to be said about that, because State of Decay is not like a big top seller, but they've cultivated a consistent community over there, and it has a chance to grow. Sort of like what happened with Sea of Thieves and Grounded. They didn't launch as like $1 million franchises with a whole bunch of people on them.
All right, look, I'm sorry, but I got to get out of here now.
All right, bud. If you, do you want to plug something before you bounce, or?
Nope, I'll see y'all tomorrow. See y'all tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. That's it.
All right.
Other than
Cheers.
that, I'll talk to you later. Look.
All right, brother. Sly Crow
Yes,
says
I-
make a God of War Vindictus style MMO. Ty, are you aware of Vindictus? Because I've never heard of it.
No, I haven't heard of it. Is that a game?
Yeah, Sly Crow says how Vindictus works is that it's instance dungeon based. I'm excited for the new Vindictus. Man, you know what? I'm just going to YouTube the gameplay for Vindictus because I'm just very curious. Because just the idea that God of War could work as a live service for me is crazy. Okay, for me that's insane. Vindictus gameplay. Here we go. Let's see. Huh. You know what? That's not. It's not crazy. I'm looking at it. It's not. Well, it looks like an older game. Yeah, but Vindictus looks like it's more PVE than PvP, and I don't know. I guess that could work, but I think PvP is usually the way to go with it, and that's where I have most of my doubt. Because when I think about PvP, it's like, okay, how are you gonna square up in God of War? Don't see much there. Big Mad Mo says mismanagement. The difference: Xbox has $21 billion IPs, PlayStation has none. I think that's a stretch, Mo. That's a stretch. I think PlayStation also has $1 billion IPs, but they're less patient. They're less patient than Xbox. That's the way I see it. Ty, thoughts on Big Mad Mo's point? Yeah.
His point was the difference is PlayStation Xbox has $21 billion IPs, PlayStation has
Yeah.
none. Xbox has big IPs, yeah, sure. Call of Duty is one, and they have a lot of successful IPs like Diablo that you can, live service. They have Skyrim, they have Fallout, they have Starfield. So yeah, he's right in the sense that like Xbox has varied IPs. Let's not forget they have also Flight Simulator, which is done really really well as well. So yeah, Xbox has varied IPs that are quality. Do they have better IPs? That's the question, really. And do they have better studios to develop these IPs? That's another question.
Yeah. Who was it that said early on in the chat? Someone said early on in the chat that they should have just stayed. I think it was Vince. That they should have just stayed with like story focused games. They should have just done the Nintendo thing because Nintendo found their niche and they like doubled and tripled down on that. And the people that buy the Nintendo games and the Nintendo consoles are satisfied with that. I think PlayStation, instead of wasting all of this money trying to pivot to live service, should have doubled and tripled down into what they're good at. Like by now, they would have had maybe another Ghost of Tsushima. Maybe God of War would have been way further into development. The Last of Us 3, maybe someone else is doing that since Neil Druckmann is focusing on Intergalactic. The next Uncharted, maybe it's getting sorted. Uh, the Horizon, maybe someone's already figured out how to get rid of Aloy and put a protagonist that people would want more, right? So, yeah, I agree. I agree with Vince or whoever said it because now he says he didn't say anything. Fuzzy, welcome in, Fuzzy Tomato. Xbox has way better IPs. It's not even a question. They are mostly multi-platform though. Okay. Maybe that's just a blind spot for me, not because I'm a big PlayStation guy, but because I don't even focus on this whole thing about who's got better IP. I just I just want to play games. Um, Big Mad Mo, why I say the Coalition does both campaign and multiplayer. Halo does both campaign and yeah. Well, Halo, the multiplayer at launch wasn't too great, but yeah. Anyway, Ty, the news is that Ben Studio and what was the other one? Ben Studio and Bluepoint found out about their canceled PlayStation Live Service games at the same time that the internet found out. What are your thoughts on that, Ty?
Um, even Ben's one is a little bit strange, but I think it all just makes sense. Sony clearly this is mismanagement. If anybody wanted to accuse Xbox of mismanagement, you could, but this is such a fumble on a large scale. The reason why Sony might not be as affected by this is just because they have a range of IPs, they have some good quality products coming, and Obsidian, not Obsidian, sorry, Insomniac has been pushing out great content on a regular basis, and Sony is
Yeah.
very, very effective at locking down IPs. Silent Hill 2 is one such IP. Final Fantasy Rebirth is another such IP. I expect Sony to keep doing this, to change the narrative in some way, shape, or form. So yeah, it, it's shocking how this was able to happen, and I think it kind of speaks to the industry that Sony did panic and they threw out all the rules and regulations that they followed to chase this growing to chase the ability to make a lot of to make profits, and it's bit them in the ass. Now, this doesn't mean Sony should not have tried to make live service games. They should 100%, but it just means they had to be very specific with it. Nintendo makes live service games, right? Fire Emblem Heroes is one, as I think Big Bad Mo or Reichi said. So Nintendo isn't diving full on into live service games, but they're making some here and there. Smash Bros. Ultimate is another example of Nintendo introducing DLCs into their games, and I think Mario Kart as well has it. So Nintendo's taking the slow approach, whereas Sony went full on in. And unfortunately for them, it's bit them in the ass. Now, will gamers feel this? I don't know if they will, because as long as Sony is able to keep giving you content and also lock down timed exclusive titles, it really just doesn't matter, to be honest.
Okay. All right. For me, when I saw this news, I didn't think mismanagement. The word I thought was actually I didn't think of a word. I made a conclusion, and my conclusion was if they're not taking the time to inform the people at these studios might not exist for too long. That's
What do you mean?
as in they might get shuttered soon. That's all I was thinking. Forget all this business about mismanagement or whatever. I've had to work with communications and all this stuff, and usually that's it's not a good sign. It's not a good sign. Fuzzy says that's been debunked. All right. If I'm not mistaken, like I'm not saying you're lying, Fuzzy. I'm not saying you're lying, but the guys from
I
Suicide
don't
Squad,
think they'll.
debunked that Suicide Squad was going to get shut down. 5-6 months later, we found out that the next update was the last one. Same thing happened with Concord. They said the game was fine. They're going to keep on updating it.
So the reason why I don't think they're gonna get shut down, at
Dragon
least
Age.
not
Hold on. Dragon Age Veilguard. We heard it was fine, and then the director bounces, and you're hearing more rumors that people are looking for jobs. It's not looking great that side. Apparently, it made a lot of money, but all the signs are that it didn't make not even half of what it needed to make. So I'd be careful with trusting. Oh yeah, debunked. Oh yeah, I saw this article on I don't know wherever. Yeah, man. There's a lot of stories that got debunked very quickly when they came out. When the stories came out on Reset Era, when they came out from like Smash JT and stuff, and then months later, they're like, "Here it is. Here it is." Sunrash, welcome in. PlayStation need to stop being anti. Big Mad Mo, it is fine. Director left because it's done. Hey, man. If you say so, bud. Ty, sorry, go ahead.
So the reason why I don't think they're gonna get shuttered, and
Yeah.
obviously if they do, you can play this back. Is
I'm not gonna play it back. I'm not one of those gotcha guys.
nah, but like it would be like it would make sense. Like I get it because I'm making a prediction here, and I could be wrong on this, but I think it's about quality. Bend Studio made Days Gone, and I think that didn't reach Sony's heights, but they have some talent there. Now they might close because maybe Sony can think your last game didn't do what it was supposed to do. However, the other studio, what's it called again? The guys who do the remakes, crap. What's the
Blue
guys who do
Point.
the remake? Blue Points games. The reason why I don't think they might get shuttered just simply is because they're good at making remakes. They can easily go back to that. Sony can easily hit them up and say, "Hey, listen, we want to go back and revisit these IPs. Can you do Ratchet and Clank? No, sorry, not Ratchet and Clank. Can you do Jack and Dexter? Can you do on in your like Fat Princess?" So I think Sony has more utilization for those guys to make some of the old products. However, Bend is a little bit different. Whatever they're making is going to be a new IP. I don't know if Sony is willing to take that risk. I think they are, but I think Blue Point has a better chance of staying afloat than Bend.
All right. All right. I'm not wishing for anyone to lose their jobs. I'm just trying to read the tea leaves. That's all I'm doing. Anyways, in the comment section, obviously, Gaz here. Have you noticed Gaz is going like full goblin mode since like last week Thursday? This guy is ripping Sony to pieces, bro. Have you noticed? Do you even know who Gaz is?
Yeah, I know, guys. Yeah,
But have you noticed his activity since last week?
yeah. His trolling has increased, and he's having a
Yo,
great time. He's really enjoying it.
yo, he just won't stop, bro. Jeez. Uh, Someone saying they won't see anything from Ben's until the PS6. If they want games as a service, best to stick to free to play. It makes the games are dead, especially in the PS5 era. Gee, if only there was a franchise Ben could work on that fans have been asking for the past 5 years. I just can't think of a single game. Oh, wait. And to this point, I don't know if you want to add anything to it, but it just seems like PlayStation, they're allergic to doing the obvious thing. The
What's the
obvious
obvious
thing,
thing?
the obvious thing, right, is to make a sequel for this game. I keep forgetting the name, right? That
It's
has
gone to.
become, yeah, like it's become a cult favorite, right?
Hmm.
With the same studio that made the first one, and then for the remake company, they made Demon Souls, right? Why not just tell them you guys port Bloodborne? Simple. That's all they had to do. It's the obvious thing. Even I could make that decision, and that's like what, maybe 20 million. Okay, not 20, maybe 4 5 million copies sold of Days. That's what, five, maybe 3 million on PlayStation, 8 10 million on PC. What are we doing?
Did you hear Yoshida's take on this?
No, I saw the headline and then I had to walk into a meeting. I forgot to click on it after.
Mhm. So he
What did he say?
believes
I
that
saw that he has a conspiracy theory.
yeah, his conspiracy, which I say it's a very educated guess, is that Miyazaki is the one who wants to make Bloodborne. Like he wants to touch Bloodborne, and because he's very busy, he doesn't have time. He's busy making Elden Ring and other games, right? And because Sony probably just respects his decision and respects him, they don't want to touch it until he's ready. So there's
But
a
that's
high
not
chance that
true.
why is that not true?
Was it last year or the year before? We
Hmm.
actually read an article on an interview on IGN with Miyazaki himself, and he was like, "I don't know why there's no Bloodborne on PC. I don't know why it hasn't been ported to the PS5. I don't know. That is 100% on Sony. As far as I'm concerned, I want it on more platforms, but I don't control Bloodborne. I
Oh, we're talking
remember
about
this.
PC ports.
Yeah,
Okay, okay. I thought you meant like a remake. My bad.
No, no, we're talking about access to the game because the game right now is
Mhm.
locked on the PS4. And the
Okay, okay, okay.
request that a lot of people have been making, right, is just port it to PS5, give it like a 60 FPS boost, port it to PC, we'll be happy.
Hmm.
And that's the one super obvious thing that PlayStation will not do. And no one can understand why.
Okay, yeah. So in that case, yeah, you're right. If it's just an update to PS5, then that makes sense. But I do have Yoshida's quote here, so I'll just say for anyone in the chat as well who's
All
interested.
right.
He says, "People wonder why we haven't really done anything." Yoshida said, "My theory is because remember, Miyazaki-san really, really loved Bloodborne, what he created. So I think he's interested, but he's so successful and so busy, so he does not have the time." And he doesn't want anyone else to touch it. So that's my theory, and the PlayStation team respects his wishes. I am not revealing any secret information. So you're right. He didn't confirm it, but that's his theory, and his theory could be wrong. I do think I actually kind of side with you a little bit. If it's just a PS5 upgrade and a PC port, that doesn't like why is that a big deal? Like that shouldn't be nothing, right? You know, if this was Bloodborne remake, they're redoing everything. I could see why Miyazaki wants to step in and say, "Hey, you know, this is my baby. I want to touch it," right? Or I could see why, if it's a Bloodborne 2, you know, he wants to be the one to touch it. But if it's really just like a remaster, then yes, this doesn't make sense. This should be done.
Hmm.
My theory on this would be that Bloodborne probably isn't that crazy of a game that sold well. I think the numbers have it at 7 million. Maybe Sony is looking at it saying the reason why we're making these remasters and remakes is because we're remastering games like The Last of Us and Horizon. These are games that sold 20 million plus. These other games, these remasters are going to make us way more money than a Bloodborne remake. Oh, sorry,
Put
Bloodborne
it on
remaster.
PC. Put it on PC.
Yeah, true, true, true. I agree.
Console players usually don't lean into Souls likes like that. Put it on PC. You actually, you know what? No need to put it to the PS5. Just put it on Steam. Just put it on Steam and watch it print money.
I
That's all
agree.
they have to do.
Do you know what they
Demon
should
Time
do?
Reezy, welcome. Says here's some canned tomatoes. What am I supposed to do with these tomatoes, Reezy? What am I supposed to do? Sorry, Ty, go ahead.
I think they should put it on Xbox.
Oh my god.
I really do. I don't see the reason why to avoid it. It's a remake. Anyone who wanted to play the
Bloodborne.
first one has
You want
played
them to put Bloodborne on Xbox.
100%.
All right. End of the podcast, guys.
Do you know what
We'll see
actually?
you guys tomorrow.
Well, do you know what actually? Now that Concord has happened and Sony has cancelled all these other games, and
Okay.
they're looking at their forecast, thinking, "God damn it! Like God of War live service was supposed to, increase our profit margins by 2%, and so the game Concord was supposed to do by 5%. So now we're going to report, L's, but we need to make up this money some way somehow." Is there a chance that they start to look at Xbox as a potential way to grow? I'm not saying massive growth, but to get some kind of income in. Even the Nintendo Switch 2.
Hmm.
Bloodborne. Imagine that, like a Bloodborne remake, yeah, and it's on PC, PS5, Nintendo Switch 2, and Xbox. So the marketing campaign is targeting everywhere. And rather than 7 million units, this could potentially be Sony's best selling remaster game because everyone's playing it, everyone's talking about it. The hype is there, hype is real. I
On
mean,
the Xbox. Sir,
Xbox,
you
Switch
are
2,
wild.
Steam, Epic, GeForce Now, you put it everywhere.
Jeez.
I think it makes more money for Sony and it doesn't hurt the console at all.
I'm not denying that it would make more money for Sony, but dude, the amount of people that would crash out if that happened. Like, no man. We need to think about the public health of people, all right?
Screwed
The
up.
mental health, sorry. Fuzzy says that dude just lies though. He also said there was no more Elden Ring imminent. Yeah, he did say there would be no more like updates or whatever on Elden Ring, and then he kept on doing stuff. So, listen, I'm not gonna sit here and just defend Miyazaki blindly. He's not Kojima, you know. If he was, I'd probably fight harder, but it's just Miyazaki. All right, so that's pretty much it. That's what happened. Um, good luck to them. You guys think it's a nothing burger? I honestly, you guys have not convinced me that shut down. If they do get shut down, I'd like for someone in the chat to remind everyone that I did like guess that that's what was going to happen. I'm not saying that's what I want to happen, but that's what I think's going to happen.
I think something else to consider is I can see live service studios being shut down because those studios were purchased for a specific reason. However, Bend and Blue Point, they're your typical PlayStation studios. They can make PlayStation original games. And if Sony's pivoting back to making original PlayStation games, those studios are well in position to make those games. They have the expertise. So to shut them down is to shut down valuable resources that can elevate your company or provide you with more profit margins. Whereas a team like Concord, what were they called again? Farfight, Concord, Firefly, whatever it is.
Yeah.
That studio is specifically expertise is based on multiplayer games. So they can't pivot to making a God of War like game or Days Gone or a remake or remaster. They don't have that skill or expertise. So for that studio, it makes sense to shut them down. But the other two studios, I don't see what they would benefit from that because those are really quality studios.
All right.
Just one more thing. If I was if Sony wanted to shut down the remake guys, man, what's wrong with me today? Blue Point. If I was Xbox, I would step in. I would say no. We just bought ABK. We have games like Halo, Gears of War. We have Crash Bandicoots. We have Spyro. We have so much IPs that need to be remade or remastered. Yeah, come over here. Like, we'll use you properly. I think that's it. I think Blue Point is a great studio. Like, even more for Xbox because they have so much IPs now, so much legacy games, and that Blue Point will have a pick of anything they want. So yeah.
All right. Next, Reforge Gaming made a video.
Viral.
People were crashing out. Let's see what he said. Actually, Astro Sideboard said Helldivers 2 didn't go viral because it was day and date on PC. It was because it went viral. Okay. I don't understand what that means, so let's watch the video. Taya, you know who Reforge Gaming is, correct?
I do, yes.
All right, here we go.
I do think eventually day and date on PC, making PC players wait a year or longer kills all interest. It's why the PS ports don't do crazy numbers. They don't want them to do crazy numbers.
Right there.
Can you play that again?
Right there. Right the fuck there. So he's reading a comment, and then at the end he says, they don't want them to do crazy numbers, and Sony doesn't want them to do crazy numbers. Here we go.
I do think eventually day and date on PC, making PC players wait a year or longer kills all interest. It's why the PS ports don't do crazy numbers. They don't want them to do crazy numbers.
I think that's crazy. I think it's crazy to say that they don't want them to do crazy numbers.
Okay, I agree, but there is
that's like saying the company doesn't want to make money. That's insane.
There's a way to tackle this that I can actually end up agreeing with Reforge Gaming.
Ooh, let's go. This is gonna be crazy. Let's go. It's lots of crazy today.
Okay, I'll go right.
Okay.
I can see what he's saying in the sense that there's a pro and a con. If it does crazy numbers, and then Sony is now forced from an economic standpoint to
make more money.
To make more money and drop games on PC day and date, especially with the CEO of Sony, Hiroki Totoki, it's going to damage the PlayStation brand. And what I mean by that is less consoles will be sold. And when less consoles are sold, Sony has less control. So that 30% cut from FIFA, from Call of Duty, from all these other games is going to be a problem. We're seeing Xbox gamers migrate to PC. I'm a PC guy. I don't really play my Xbox. It's my secondary console right now. I've spoken to the other Xbox guys. They are PC guys as well. PlayStation gamers will eventually start migrating to PC as well. And once that happens, yes, you're right. PlayStation will sell more games and they'll make more money. However, right now, the money is in that 30% cut from Call of Duty, from FIFA, from NBA 2K, from GTA. So at some point, they're going to make that trade off. But right now, I think they don't want that trade off to happen. They're happy where they are right now.
You know what you sound like right now?
What
You
I
sound
sound
like
like.
someone with two eyeballs. You want your left eye to look to the left, and you want your right eyeball to look to the right. You know how ridiculous that sounds?
Are you serious? You think that? What about
Bro,
that doesn't make
bro,
financial
if you
sense?
put it on the PC, it's because you want to make as much money as possible on the PC. If you don't want to make money on the PC and you want to make sure people stay on your console, you don't you don't ever put it on PC because you cannot control how many people buy your games. It makes no sense. You have one steering wheel, you're driving the car, you'd like to go both left and right at the same time.
Then why are they doing staggered releases then?
Why are they doing that? Because they don't want to hurt people's feelings. That's
Nah,
all
it's
it
about
is.
money. It's not about
And
feelings.
that's why it's going shorter and shorter and shorter. Because remember, it used to be five,
Yeah,
6 years.
yeah, and then 2
And then
years,
3 years,
now
two
1 year.
years, 1 year. Now it's day and date for live service. Come on, bro.
Hmm.
Come on. Next is going to be 6 months,
I agree.
and then 1 month, and then day and date.
But
So
put
if
it
you're
this way,
going
yeah.
to do it, just fucking do it.
But put it this way, yeah. I think with Sony, they need to be very careful a lot more than Xbox because Xbox can do it because they are third place. They have nothing to lose. You know, that's why they can do Game Pass without a care. That's why they can like go into cloud and PC without a care. I think the difference is Xbox can't. Sorry, PlayStation can't do that. Um, and the reason why, sorry, they cancel that because they have to be very careful. If they hurt PlayStation in any way, shape, or form, they're hurting their profit margins. Do you remember the article that came out that said PlayStation's console numbers and Xbox is like, well, is it 5 million points behind?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think Xbox Series X is I think around 5 million console sales behind. Let me see if I can pull it up here because I know I had it. PlayStation. Oh, I can't seem to find it. But yeah, so basically, PlayStation's console numbers are a couple of million behind the PS4s, whereas Xbox has a larger margin behind the Xbox One, which will seem like a flop, and it's not great. However, when you consider the fact that Xbox games are on cloud and on PC, the numbers don't actually look that bad because by default, I think Xbox is going to lose console sales because they're everywhere, right? And I think if
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation goes everywhere as well, that is what's going to happen too. They will lose console sales, and I don't think PlayStation is ready to lose those console sales. They still want that 30% cut. There's going to be a point in time where they know that transition is going to happen, but the question is, do we want to speed up that transition? Do we want to be active
I would
participants
buy.
in
I
that
would
trade?
buy what you're selling. I would buy what you're selling if I hadn't seen the the Activision lawsuit documents that came out that everyone else saw.
Hmm.
Right? People aren't buying PlayStations to play the exclusives. They're buying them to play Madden and FIFA and Call of Duty, etc.
I've heard this pushback a good bit, and I'm still not convinced. Not because the stats are lying, but the reason I'm not convinced
And
is
and 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 remember, you are the one who, like 20 minutes ago, you're like, people need to listen to the facts. And the
No, these are
facts
facts.
are, right? The vast, and I mean vast majority of gamers on PlayStation were buying only those games. And then the so called exclusives, 2 million, 3 million. So what are we doing? PlayStation needs to, I think they need to just accept the fact that they are the gods of marketing. They've convinced a gigantic amount of gamers that theirs is the best platform to play games that are available everywhere else, which is fine. But gatekeeping these games, especially Bloodborne and stuff, it makes no sense. And the whole console argument, again, because of what we learned with the Activision documents, there's it nullifies that entire argument. But go ahead, go ahead and unnullify it.
Yeah, of course. My pleasure. I think the numbers are not inaccurate, but there's a way to interpret the numbers that I think can make sense. The reason why PlayStation was able to get to the position it is a large part due to the Xbox failures during the Xbox One era, but also with its exclusive contents that it was able to produce during that PS4 era, right? So we're talking about the PS3 era and the PS4 era. So it is actually the exclusives that allow PlayStation to be in this position to control the zeitgeist, the casual market sense. So the reason why my little cousin wants to get a PlayStation is because there's a vibe around PlayStation of quality, which is, The Last of Us. He knows I've played The Last of Us. He knows I've played these games. He might not be interested, but he knows I have a PlayStation because of these games. The less exclusives Xbox has, the less Xbox is kind of pushed into obscurity. Nobody talks about it, nobody vibes with it, etc., etc., etc. Like my cousin knows Final Fantasy Rebirth came out, but he doesn't buy it. But he knows about it. So remember we spoke about I think I might have said it to you sometime, Netflix. I'm still on Netflix, even though I don't watch it that much, because it's not about am I using it for its specific shows or whatever it is, but it's the perception of quality that makes me subscribe to Netflix. Oh, there's this TV show that's really good, that has a really good trailer. I might watch it one day. Oh, another TV show that has a good trailer. I might watch it one day. With Xbox, you don't get this mindset. These games don't exist. But with PlayStation, Stellar Blade, really good game. I might get it one day. Um Bloodborne 2 remake might come out. I might get it one day. Black Myth Wukong. I might get it one day. I have no interest in playing these games, but the perception is that side has quality. So I'm just gonna buy that console and play my Call of Duty there. I might never buy these games, but I'm always just gonna keep picking PlayStation because of the quality part. And I think that's a very important part in this whole equation. So yeah, the numbers make sense. I agree, but PlayStation is able to capture that because of its exclusive quality content. Horizon, God of War. Listen, when somebody comes up to me and says, "Oh, The Last of Us," I heard it's a video game. She's not going to buy a PS5 to play The Last of Us, but she might consider it. And because if she has a kid, she might be like, "Oh, the PS5, I might buy for you," just because there's this game called The Last of Us that I might want to play. It's just the perception. I have remember we were having this chat about how the the PS2 did so well because it had a DVD drive. And parents bought it because it was a good DVD drive, it was cheap, etc., etc., etc. Some of them probably didn't use it that much. Probably used it maybe 5 times in its whole lifetime. However, it was there. The perception was there that I have a quality console that can do X, Y, Z. So they pulled the trigger. In the same way how I have friends who are moving to PC and they justify the price, not because the games are great, but because, well, it's a PC, it can, edit, I can do Unreal Engine, I can do X, Y, Z, I can, work from here. They talk about these other little factors that gives them the perception of that the value is worth it. But then when you ask them, "Yo, have you been making those games on Unreal Engine?" The answer is no, I haven't. Have you been using your PC to watch Netflix? No, I haven't.
Well, let's agree to disagree, because in my
No,
opinion,
I'm right.
in, hey man, you're right because of your perception of the situation. I'm agreeing to to cede some ground, even though I have all the data pointing to my point of view.
Hmm.
I'm just being magnanimous, but all right, sure, but you're right. Sly Crow says Kingdom Come Deliverance is going to be big, probably the best RPG for this generation. The Sly Crow, I'd like to remind you that Baldur's Gate and Starfield came out this generation. Oh, okay, Ty already pointed out. All right, fine. With so many big games coming out in 2025, that's a reason to own a console. The Sly Crow, are we going to? Are we saying that the big games that are coming out this year are not? They're not on PC. I don't understand. Ty,
Say that again, please.
he's saying with sorry, the Sly Crow is saying with so many big games coming out in 2025, that's a reason to own a console. And my question is, no big games are coming to PC.
In 2025, yeah, there are, right?
So
I mean, every
I'm,
game
I'm
is
just
coming to PC.
just a bit baffled by that. Just a bit baffled. Demon Time Reezy, PlayStation players have been bamboozled into believing the console is quality for many years. The so-called exclusive are mostly gate kept. PlayStation is definitely the Apple of gaming. I wouldn't say they've been bamboozled. I would say they've been convinced. Right? I would say they've been convinced. The biggest games coming out, Game Pass is where you should be. What is this? You're doing marketing now. All right. All right. So I opened up a website which has more or less the top 50 games coming out this year. Uh, Splitgate 2, available for PC, PS5, Series X. It's a fairly popular multiplayer game.
I played Splitgate
Exoborn.
back in the days, and it's a good game. I think it's
Yeah.
I don't want to say it's failure, but the problem was it didn't elevate. Um, they should have done way more with that game, way more modes, better graphics, better like there's just so much that they could have done with it. And at some point, I started to look at it and think this might be a really cool game mode. Like if Call of Duty decides to steal this mechanic, like that's it. Like Splitgate will be done. But yeah, it's a really good game mode, but they just need to expand on it a little bit more to make it a little bit more enticing.
Yeah. Yeah. I would agree with that. I would agree with that. Exoborn. This is the extraction shooter coming out for PC, PS5, Series X again. Next, Den of Wolves coming out for PC only. What type of game is this? Like a rival gang claiming new turf, co-op heister. Den of Wolves has a lot to prove. Oh, nice. Committing heists, and it's on PC only. Okay. Hey, here we go. Here's the first console exclusive, Where Winds Meet, coming out on PS5 only in 2025. This is a Chinese hack and slasher, so that's not bad. Next, these are just small games. Okay, Wu Chang Fallen Feathers coming out on all platforms, including Xbox. And then obviously there's Kingdom Come Deliverance also coming out on all platforms. Thick as Thieves also coming out on all platforms. Baby Steps coming out on PC and PS5. The Altars coming out on all platforms. Revenge of the Savage Planet coming out on all platforms. Killing Floor 3 coming out on all platforms. Oh, Phantom Blade Zero. PC and PS5.
Hmm.
Uh, Dune Awakening coming out on all platforms. Wheel World coming out on all platforms. Exodus from the people that made Mass Effect coming out on all platforms. Like a Dragon Yakuza, all platforms. Little Nightmares 3, all platforms. Clay Obsidian, all platforms. Mafia the Old Country, all platforms. Inzoi, PC only. Inzoi is the game that's apparently going to be better than Sims. We shall see. Atom Falls coming out on all platforms. Subnautica, PC and Series X. Civilization 7 coming out on all platforms. South of Midnight coming out on PC and Xbox. Dying Light, The Beast coming out on all platforms. Metal Gear Solid Delta, Snake Eater coming out on all platforms. Crimson Desert, all platforms. Avowed, PC and Xbox. Fable 4, PC and Xbox. Metroid, Switch. Okay. Here we go. The consoles are coming in. Assassin's Creed, all platforms. Monster Hunter Wilds, all platforms. Dead Stranding 2, PS5 exclusive. Temporary. It'll be on PC eventually. Doom the Dark Ages, all platforms. Borderlands 4, all platforms. Elden Ring Night Rain, all platforms. Ghost of Yote, coming out on PC only. Oh, sorry, on PS5 only. And GTA 6, PS5 and Series X. I don't know. For me, it's just GTA. It's just GTA.
I think GTA is going to be like, it has a chance to be something really truly special, and that's why I'm really looking forward to it. And that's why, listen,
Falling dumplings. Sorry,
what happened?
Ty, go ahead. Mishi. What the hell? What is this, Mishi? What are you doing? Go ahead, Ty. Sorry.
It has a chance to be something really truly special. So I think we're all looking forward to it. But I don't think we should sleep on Monster Hunter. I don't think we should sleep on Exodus. All these other games, like GTA makes the year a highlight, but it's the games around it that makes it probably the best year in gaming, right? Assassin's Creed, Exodus, all these other like dope games. Even the Nintendo Switch dropping. Are we gonna get a new Mario Kart out? Are we getting Metro Prime 4? This could be a really fantastic year in gaming. I don't think there's any game that's really come out now that's great, but Kingdom Deliverance 2, there's a lot of hype around that game. And, as somebody said in the chat, this could be one of the best RPGs this generation. Now, I don't know about that. Obviously, we have Baldur's Gate 3, we have, we also had Xenoblade and some other dope quality games. But I see his point that Kingdom Deliverance is probably going to be highly rated. So yeah, I think we're in for a really good year in gaming, and GTA would just be like I guess you could say the main course.
Yeah. But let's get back to this video. Otherwise, we won't be able to watch it before we end the pod.
No. Oh, Helldivers doesn't prove the axiom. Helldivers sold like crazy because it went viral. Helldivers didn't go crazy because it was day and date. That's a complete misdiagnosis. With respect, that is absolutely not why Helldivers went crazy. That's a misread of the cause.
Do you agree or disagree?
Just to understand, he's saying
All right, let's
Sorry.
try this again.
Yeah, play it again.
Don't want them to do crazy numbers. No. Oh, Helldivers doesn't prove the axiom. Helldivers sold like crazy because it went viral. Helldivers didn't go crazy because it was day and date.
Did you get that?
Helldivers didn't go crazy because
It went viral.
it went viral.
No,
It
no,
wasn't because
no,
it was day and
no.
date.
No, it sold crazy. It sold crazy because it went viral, not because it went day and date.
That's not true.
Yeah.
That's not true at all, because Helldivers 2 going viral doesn't make it Sony PlayStation's fastest selling game. When you have The Last of Us 1, when you have Ghost of Tsushima, when you have God of War and Horizon and Spider-Man, like these are top quality games. How does Helldivers 2 beat those games? Like The Last of Us doesn't need viral to sell. Neither does Spider-Man. So no, this is not a true statement.
What I would add to that is going day and date helps you go viral. Like me and Taya were just going about, like going back and forth about it, right? Going day and date is going to get more people interested and involved. That makes it go viral. Mishi says, Mishi agrees with Jimmy. You're memeing. Mishi's memeing. Okay. All right. All right. Anyways, that was that was pretty much it. That was all I wanted us to look at. Because I just want to make sure I'm not going crazy. That's pretty much it. Ty, is there anything you'd like to add before we sign off? Or maybe there's a topic you'd like to discuss briefly before we leave?
And no real gaming topics really. I know there was the one about GTA being potentially $70. I actually read the report, and I think most people didn't because it's a very interesting. He gives you like hard data as to why he's even kind of making a claim that the gaming industry grew really, really fast and hard, and the gaming industry was surpassing, GDP, not GDP, the market, like the actual stock market in terms of growth. And his response was like, that doesn't happen. How does this do that? And he gave reasons as to why that was happening as well. Like it's a really good read. So I would urge people to actually take it into consideration. Even if you don't agree the game should be, $80 or $90 or GTA shouldn't be. I think it's a good way to understand the economics of what's happening in the industry. Um, Game wise, no, that's pretty much it. I know this is Trump's inauguration day, and some people are happy, some people are not. Somebody sent me a clip of Snoop Dogg getting roasted by people saying he shouldn't have
Yeah, because
performed.
he changed positions, right?
Change position, but not really just change position. It's just the fact that like he performed. They see him as a traitor now. I know Nelly did the same thing as well, and my
Soldier
friend is like
Boy as well.
Soldier Boy as well. And Soldier Boy said, Biden didn't put anything in my pockets, Kamala didn't put anything in my pockets, but Trump did. Do I have a take on this? Really, I'm okay with it. If the Democrats are not looking to talk to you or to get help from you, and you can make a bag of the other side, I suppose. I don't see Soldier Boy or Snoop Dogg or any of these characters um, influencing black people to vote for Trump. I think black people voted for Trump for specific reasons, and they like him for those reasons. So I don't think the celebrity shout outs actually do much. The biggest one I can think of is Taylor Swift. However, those are not enough to swing an election or to even like get any margins, if I'm being honest. So I think it's okay for them to do it. Like, go make your money. It's perfectly fine.
Bruh, no one cares. No one cares about what celebrities think.
Exactly. Like they're so detached from reality, like your
I
reality,
mean,
that it
come
makes no
on,
sense.
come on, come on.
Yeah, still.
Celebrities are worse than politicians because at least politicians are going to get, they're going to actively affect your life. If
Mhm.
we're being 1,000% honest, there's no celebrity that actually affects your life unless you let them, right? Unless you actively make it so a celebrity's life affects you. But
Mhm.
they don't actually, like, whether you want it or not, it's not like they actually affect your life. They don't. A politician, you can try to ignore them, but a politician will affect your life. So, yeah, no one cares. I'm sorry, no one cares. But as for Snoop Dogg changing his position and doing what he did, dude, that's life. There's no one that thinks what they think today, and they've thought that since they were 12.
Yeah.
There's there's no one like that.
No,
And
100%.
it is that you think today, 1 year from now, you're either going to think the exact opposite, or you're going to add some sprinkles to whatever it is your beliefs and thoughts are on that specific subject.
Do you know why I think you can critique Snoop is?
Right.
And we've kind of touched on this a little bit. Is the question is why? Why have you changed? And if you can articulate some good reasons why you've changed, then I think people can jump on board and say X, Y, Z. Okay, I perfectly agree. The problem I have with some people is they make these kind of decisions, and when I say why, they give stupid answers and they don't make sense or it's inconsistent answers, and that's when I call them frauds. Because at that point you're just feeling focused. If you feel good on a Monday, you make this decision. Tuesday you're a bit angry because someone shouted at you, so then you're going to make a completely different decision. I don't like inconsistent people who base decisions based on irrational feelings. It's just ridiculous.
Rational according to you, Tai.
No, but like, yeah, but we can
Who
measure
died
those
that
things.
made you the king of rationale?
Yeah, because
Everyone
that's not.
knows that the king of rationale is Reforge Gaming. Uh, Mishi, thank you so much. Says I seen a fat ass at 12 and said, "Damn, I still feel the same way." Mishi, that's not. Those are not the thoughts and ideologies we're talking about right now, and you know it. Anyways, sorry, Ty. Go ahead.
Yeah, but you see, we have to be able to like critically like parse these statements, right? So if your response is, "Well, I hate Trump because he's a racist,"
Yeah,
let's say someone says that, then 2 years later, I'm asking you like, okay, why you vote for Trump now?
because
Like,
he stopped.
is he not a
Maybe
racist anymore?
maybe he stopped.
I mean, if you say he stopped, I would say okay, fair enough. Like,
People
but what do you mean stop? Like,
or
stop being a racist? So he was a
yeah,
racist
yeah,
before,
yeah,
but
yeah.
now that
Maybe
he's not a.
stop being racist. Maybe stop being racist.
Okay, fair enough. But then my question would be
Or
like, did
or
he
there's
stop
another
being
one.
a
There's
racist?
another one as well. I stopped caring. My life got so shit under the other people, right, that are not him, that I was like, you
Mhm.
know what? Let's give him a go.
And I
Is
think
that
that's
not
a
a valid reason? Is that
that,
not a valid reason? Are
that
people
that
not
is a
allowed to?
valid reason. Yeah, no,
Okay.
that's a valid reason. I don't know why Snoop Dogg's life got shit. Being the millionaire he is, but
Hey man, I'm
I
not
understand
here
the
answering for Snoop.
I understand the average man, but then then you have some of these gamers who are like, yeah, I'm gonna vote for Trump because whatever reason, and then Trump comes with his tariffs and like, yeah, your GPUs are gonna be like 50% extra now. Like, what are we talking about here?
Did you see this stuff about Melanie Mack and Razor Fist? Dude, the thing that me and Oshus was saying, I think it was like 2 weeks ago. This thing about now those guys are grifters. Those guys are actual grifters.
Mm.
I think the large majority of people that are anti woke are not grifters, but those guys, from what I've seen so far, those guys are grifters.
But even at yeah, there's a lot of them out there, right? And it just makes a lot of money. But even I think what's interesting is the Kingdom Come Deliverance guy, like whatever his name was again. But I was commenting on his post, and I pointed out how listen, you when you said force DEI, and this is part that's really important. What do you mean by that? Because there's a lot of people who take this very differently. So when he said force DEI, my interpretation, what he's saying is that, hey, listen, don't put in place, characters who maybe do not belong somewhere, like, because you're forcing it in, you're making this person this gender way, or you're talking about like certain topics, and you're not writing it really well. Like, that's what I assumed he meant, right? But my issue with this group of people is that they have a mixture of just pure racist, transphobes, homophobes, um, in their groups. So
And to
when
that point, there's no group that is as pure as the driven snow. Because even the people that you support, there's full of racists and pedophiles and disgusting people on that side as well. But we're not going to judge the entirety of one group based off of the 10% that make up the most vile and deplorable in their group. Because if you do that, you open up all types of nasty doors.
no, this group is full of losers. There's a difference.
Both groups have losers, brother.
No, because yes, both groups have losers. However,
Well,
there's one group that has way more problematic people in it than the other group. Like, because think about it.
oh my
Think about
God.
it. The
Look
creator
at the chat.
literally.
Look at the chat, Ty. Oh my God. Ty, you're the one who called the man out. You talk to him. You talk
I,
to him. Tell him why he switched up, Ty.
who are we talking about? No,
Look at
I'm
the
not.
screen, brother.
Oh, the screen. Sorry, hold on. Fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's for you, bruv. Explain yourself. I'm not gonna defend you in front of the Don. Hell no.
Listen, Snoop, there's a video of you literally insulting anybody who's performing for Trump like years ago. And then years later, you're performing for Trump. So, you're the one who has to answer to that. Like, what changed your mind? And if you say the economy changed your mind, okay. I mean, that's your answer. But, you being the millionaire you are, I don't think people are going to really accept that.
Oh my God. Oh damn.
A fan, a fan of your music. Listen, I ain't even disappointed in what you did. I don't care. Like I ain't from the United States. I think get your money. However, you gotta give a reason to your people as to why you've done this. If it's just for the bag, then okay, just say that.
Right. Snoop Dogg out here calling out Ty.
Though that group
Anyways,
is losers, though. just be
yeah,
clear, that group is full of
yeah.
losers.
Who's full of losers?
The group, the anti woke group, they're full of absolute losers.
Yeah, and what I'm saying is that anti woke those losers you're talking about don't make up 10%.
No, oh my
They
days, make
don't.
so
They
much
don't.
more.
They don't. I'd like for you to share, right, your census. That's all
I'm
I'm asking.
I'm thinking that these groups, like, man, okay.
I'd
I'm
like for you to
I'm
share
thinking
your
over.
census.
I'm thinking over half.
Well, that's just you,
Do you
right?
know
That's your opinion.
there was a video,
Now it's
right?
your opinion. Now it's your opinion
No,
versus
true,
mine.
true,
Because
true. No,
my
true.
opinion, right, is based off of not only the interactions I've had with some people, but also I've checked out people's YouTube channels. I've seen the people that have been accused of being racist and all this, right? And then I've got my little list where I'm like, okay, I'll follow up on this one of these days when I have time. And dude, it got to the point that I had like 25 creators that were labeled and smeared, right? And then when I had time to check them out, turned out like three of them were actually legit toxic people. Everyone else, it was just people that was like, no, I don't like this way of engaging with content, this way of writing stories, etc., etc. But at no point did I get the view of them that they were these hateful people, these losers that you're talking about.
There's a lot of these dog whistles, right? And it's a matter of, for example, when someone like a Grums has to come out and say, "Hey, by the way, there's nothing wrong with gay people in games," just so you guys know. Why would you have to say that to your audience if a large portion of them didn't think there was a problem with it, right? And people clearly
No,
pointed out.
no, no.
What do you
You can
mean?
also come out and say that when people falsely accuse you of being a phobic person about that
They
specific group.
pointed out that he has labeled games before in the past as woke and DEI because it had gay characters, right? And for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, it seemed like what he was saying. I need to double check this, but what he was saying was like, well, this isn't woke or DEI because the character you're not forced to be gay. But what game forces you to be gay that he labeled woke and DEI? You see the problem? It's just inconsistent because he wants Kingdom Deliverance 2 to succeed and be the game that owns the libs because it's going to do well. So he's trying to make excuses for it.
Mm,
And when he
So
has to come out and say,
again, going back to my point, I'm not saying that they aren't quote unquote losers. And what I'm saying is you are misrepresenting the amount of quote unquote losers.
but I put it this way, yeah. If the
And
large
because it's on the
portion,
opposite side, right? Because it's on the side that you ideologically disagree with, said losers are now like 50%, maybe 70% of that specific group.
yeah, because it's
But
a
on your side, you are sure it's like nah, it's like 5%. It's not even like a reasonable amount of losers to even mention. Do you understand the double speak that you're doing right now?
my side, if whichever side that is, doesn't have power in gaming to dictate and change and manipulate
What?
situations like this.
The left doesn't have power in gaming.
The left
You're going
can't
to say
put
that you're going to say that with a straight face right now.
yes, I do not.
All right. Well, that's a good way to end the pod, honestly.
But
With everyone pointing out the myriad of of left leaning views that have been peddled, right? You're going to sit there and say, "I don't know. Actually, we don't really have power. We're
no,
not. We're not.
there's a
We're not. We're
difference.
not pulling any strings. Things are just happening."
No,
Actually,
there's
you
a
know what?
difference.
If you Yo, Danny, welcome in with your beer.
Welcome in.
Uh, enjoy your laughs, but we need to go. Go ahead, Ty. Go ahead.
The difference is if a left leaning person wants to make a game, that's them wanting to make a game. If a right leaning person wants to make a game, that's them wanting to make a game. The way I would define power in this context is, can the left person, or do a lot of people on the left, go to a game that is normal or right leaning and say, I will cancel your game if you don't turn the genders into person A and person B. So if I
Yeah,
go to a video
yeah,
game, I never
yes.
see where.
That's why this whole thing exploded, bro. Is because people were not catering to the left, and then they had to start catering, and then people started getting pissed. That's why you had Az on his channel making that legendary rant talking about you're boring, you're so fucking boring. Come on, bro. Are you now going to tell me you don't even know how Gamergate 2 started? Are you going to tell me that Gamergate 2 started because some people were hating on Sweet Baby? Is that where you're gonna? Is that what we're gonna do now?
What is Gamergate 2?
We're gonna pretend that the whole thing didn't kick off because a whole bunch of people didn't started trying to get a Brazilian deplatformed on Steam. Is that what we're doing? Because if that's what we're doing, I'm too tired for that, bruv. I'm too tired for it. The same way today, I was having a chat with some guy. I posted something about PC gaming, like dominating console gaming, and then he's telling me about PC gamers don't play like new games and they only play Counter Strike and shit. And I'm just like, alright, bro, like I'm too old for this shit. I like disingenuous conversations. I'm not down for, bro. Zero interest.
If you went on an an Elden Ring page or even Kingdom Deliverance 2, you will not find in the comment section random trolls saying, why is this male and female? It should be person A and B. You will never find that, right? You will not find in
Okay.
the comment section of Kingdom Deliverance 2 people saying there's not enough black people in this game. You will never find any of these comments because they don't exist. However, you will find these comments on left-leaning games, whatever you want to call that. People saying things like, "Oh, woke, DEI, trash, fake, garbage." This is the
This
truth. There's no
this
denying
is
this.
wild.
Go on Dustborn's page, and how
It's
many of
not
these people who
wild.
are commenting had any inclination to actually purchase this product? Zero.
It's wild. You're killing me right now. You're
I
killing me.
mean, you're not disputing
Yes.
my points.
Yeah, dude. Because you are the guy in the street trying to have a debate with me about the color of the sky. I don't even know what to fucking start. I I don't even know if it's even worth engaging because what are we doing? What are we doing?
But these are facts. You don't like facts.
I don't like facts.
Facts don't care about your feelings, bro.
Oh my lord. Okay. All right. Well, that was wild. Anyways, thank you to everyone for watching. Thank you for coming through. Yeah, Mishi. Yeah. I'm starting to believe this is exact same thing. Anyways, thank you for watching, guys. Please make sure you guys smash that like button, share it out, and yeah, Ty, go ahead, please plug your stuff. Tell people they can find you, what you're up to, etc., etc., etc.
Hey, thanks to everyone for watching, and I enjoyed my time in the chat as well. You guys can find me at Taye Talks, TAYETALKS. I am making some Exodus videos. I've already made 2 at the moment. I'm looking to make it 3, 4, 5 before I go on holidays, and then drop them, simultaneously, maybe Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. So once I do that, you can find more Exodus content. Depending on how those videos do, and depending on when the game is coming out, I'll make more Exodus content. So yeah, if you're interested in James Olsen's new game, Sci-Fi Focus, the new Mass Effect, as some people are calling it, then head on over to the channel.
Speaking of, a quick side note, you mentioned holidays.
Mhm.
I had this like mini, well, it wasn't an argument, but like disagreement when I mentioned that I was going on holiday.
Mhm.
And then like Matt and Ham lost their minds. What do you mean going on holiday? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be off work and whatever. It's like, no, that's not holiday, that's vacation. I'm like, guys, I speak English, you guys speak American. Okay, and I just love hearing someone speak like the English that everyone else speaks on planet Earth. So yeah.
Yeah, it's holidays to me, man. I don't use vacation. I'm going on vacation. Like, I feel like that word has never left my mouth until today. Vacation. Like even saying that, I
Bro,
was like, oh.
bro. Ty, I used to say button. I used to say button. I
Mhm.
started podcasting with these freaks. Now it's button, button, button. I have to actively when I'm speaking. The other day I was talking to my wife about the curtains, and I said curtains, and she was like, "Dude, you're sounding like those
You
Americans."
sound crazy, man.
Oh my god.
Yeah, holidays,
Anyways,
man. No one says vacation around here.
you become what you spend your time around,
Very true.
right? So yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. We really do appreciate you guys coming through. Make sure to smash the like button on your way out. Tune in. Mishi, stop it with the Texas, Mishi. Stop it. Uh, Make sure to tune into Ham's morning show tomorrow. I will also be streaming later on tomorrow evening my time, but afternoon your time. Y'all have a good one. Thank you so much.